Alrighty, folks. New day. We are going to get these floors done, finally. That is the goal. That is the only mission we have. I'm working on doing some, what they call Adreno. I'm trying to build gauges for the car. I probably talked about this a bunch, but anyways, I'm bringing the test sending unit in, seeing if I can get that to work with servo motor, high tech. We'll see if it works. Anyways, we got the fuel tank in. We got I kind of mocked up the air tank the way I think I'm going to have it. Well, I don't know if I'll use that tank, but I have a tank. It's the one I pulled out of my International a while back. I swapped out. So I might just blast that one, paint it. Not that it matters because it's going to be hidden. So I wanted to do that. I think I can do a compressor. I can do a compressor. And just have to figure out where to stash a battery. I guess hindsight, you could make this floor flat across and then you don't see any of this, but I want to come down and I want to go across because I want to have as much trunk space as I possibly can, because when you road trip you always carry some parts and a spare tire and stuff like that, so I want to have oodles of room. I realized I put this floor in and I didn't make my mounts, so I kind of scratched the back so I can get at it. Like I have a reference. I'm going to have to make a pad. We'll have to lift the body and then deal with that. Won't do it for now. For now, we're going to mess with the floor. I'm going to probably build some bracing down to here for the sides to attach, and maybe some kind of a skeleton going across this part. We might, we're probably going to have to build a skeleton up into the back because, yes and no. I don't know. We're going to go with a 1/2 inch though, here down. Here down, probably hit a 1x1 across. Probably should. No, we could probably make it all with a 1/2 inch. I think I got a bunch of that. So we can kind of do that. We'll build some framing in here for it. And then we're going to CAD it up. I want to kind of rebuild this whole section in the back. So I got some 2-inch pipe. We're going to kind of shape that. And then we can kind of build that floor to the back. And then, you know, later date, soon, we're going to start building this panel to match up to it. So then this whole back of the car will have a nice, it'll have a nice flow. And then see how these are kind of mangled. We'll kind of, I don't, the fenders, maybe they're going to get welded on. I shouldn't, but I have absolutely no problem removing my tires and stuff. So we might blitz the fenders on. That way we can get rid of that seam. Don't have to worry about anything weird happening into there. Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to happen. Not this round, because we're going to have to really massage this fender out to get it where it's supposed to be. You can see here it's just slaughtered. We banged it out a bit, but it's not great. And then this side needs a whole lot of work. Anyways, I think first things first, we are going to grab these bits. Oh, actually, I got to pull a fuel tank really quick. The boy's got another truck here that he's scrapping. I know he's punched the tank, but it has that whole sending unit, everything I need. So that is just sitting out yonder. We'll have to go lift this thing up, pop the tank quick. I want to take the sending unit out of it. Yes, sir. We got parts. We got stuff. Anyways, I guess let's get started. Well, now, that was a complete waste of time. I kind of cut the top off, but this whole sending unit, everything is completely different than mine. It's like way bigger and stuff. Oh well, I'll have to wait for the next vehicle. I think until then I can grab some of the fuel fittings, because they're usable somewhere else, but that's about all I can salvage out of this. No biggie. Alrighty, we did the structure, the base of our structure so far. So we got our one brace through here, boom, boom, boom. There's a couple supports. We ran down into the back. We're gonna trim a whole bunch of junk out of there because these lower tabs, I figured I'd use them, but I mounted the floor a little bit higher than I wanted, only because I've noticed here my hoses aren't gonna be great. I can turn this, that's not a problem, and point it this way, so I feel I'll kind of go under and then come across instead of just off the side of the tank and around. So I gave it a good chunk of breathing room for the hoses to go underneath there. So that should be okay. Over here, we'll probably just kind of have our failure come up and it'll come off to the side. It'll vent to the outside of the car. We'll be golden. We're also going to have like a panel separating the back of the car into the trunk, so there'll be a divider between here and the back of the car, so that's not a problem. Next step is we'll start with a little bit of CAD, super simple. I'm going to make these pieces, but I'm not going to put them in until I lift this off the car and then we actually start working the back. Like we'll probably have to do the body off. I don't know if that makes sense, but I got to lift it off. I'll work the mounts back here that I wanted, and then we'll have to do a second one in the back, or I want one back there anyways. We're going to make these pieces, but we're not going to fully put them in. This piece is going to be a little weird, so it's probably going to get trimmed, and this is going to get a little hat to go on top of it. Like this one might come up to the fuel. Like it might, this centerpiece will be different, let's put it that way. This is going to be pretty flat for the most part, except for around this. The sending unit here is not a big deal. That takes nothing, so the floor will remain flat on all those parts, but I'd like to get it up. I want to get these sides fully welded, but instead of having all this junk in the way, I'll lift the body off, we'll attack it, and then see where we get. We might be close to having to start to blast the body. I don't want to do that yet, but we might be close to blasting some of it just so we can kind of start treating some stuff, getting things cleaned up. Anyways, let's start with our beer CAD and let's build some floor pans for the back here. Well, we're slowly getting there. We got our bend right. Got that much right. This is the little hat that I'm building to go over the fuel pump. Like the fuel pump assembly. I don't know what you want to call it. But anyways, it's starting to take shape. We got to shape it all up. I wanted to just do a test fit. I almost want to drop the tank now, just so I can draw the lines accurate. So when I punch the holes to spot weld it in, it'll be mint on the money. And then we got to make a few more patches for this thing, and then I'm just gonna rip out the flux because, man, that stuff is just crappy. Even with the other, even if you grind it, it's still garbage to weld. So we will flux the snot out of that. I made this hole a little bigger than it should be, but it's mostly because I got to slip a hose over this thing and be able to clamp it. So I might even open a little more. We can always, I can make a plate to go over it just to hold everything tight, so we don't get any exhaust fumes or nothing coming through there. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. We got it there. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get this all spot welded in the backside here after. But we're pretty close. I think I got this set up the way I want. I'm gonna lift it off the body. I will work on the mounts in there that I want to use, and I think I'll doodle under this panel where the I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to take the body off. I'm going to take the front sheet metal off, make it easier this time, just so I can lift it and not have all this floppiness hanging off the front. Hey, what do you think? If I can get 15-inch wheels, I have these old Cadillac hubcaps. They look like garbage without white walls, but I don't know. I think they look pretty cool. Whether they'll stay, I don't know. It probably needs something more of like a custom touch. Like, I don't know. Those are really rough, but I don't know what other caps I got. I have those ones. They might be a 14. You won't see the back, so we just need a pair. Those are kind of neat. Maybe that's somebody was pointing out that there was a set that'd be cool. I think those are Dodge. Pretty sure. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna go in for supper. Then when we come back, we're gonna smash that thing together or do something. Well, when you wire brush that stuff, it's not so bad. It's a little miserable to weld, but considering you don't have to clean anything, It is a bit of a bugger. You can see me, I was blazing it like it owed me money there, but it's actually, well, in the end, it's a floor. I'm really not worried if it warps. It's going to get covered. Nobody will be the wiser. It's still a patch. It's repaired. It's done. So this is going to go over the fuel hump. We've drilled all the holes. It's pretty much ready to blitz in. I just don't feel like putting it in right now. I think that is what I'm going to call it for tonight. Did a bit of work on there, and yeah, just a bunch of odds and ends. So tomorrow is another day, and we'll get this floor buzzed in, and then see where we go from there. All right, we got the trunk all zapped in, so this is like pretty cherry. Next step, I didn't weld this rear section because we got some weirdness going on. I don't know if I'm gonna green sheet that one. I feel I just need some work with it. But we're gonna template this out. That'll be the next step. I want to at least get this chunk up into here. I want to be able to tack onto there and basically cut this chunk out. I want to make a new piece into there. We're going to redo this because for some reason this is supposed to be here, but it's not. Like there's a lot of weirdness happening. Actually, both sides are doing it, and I don't know why that is, but I like to take this out, put a new piece into there. I can just feel it, so I'm hoping I can zap onto that thing nicely. We'll rerun this sheet metal out up to some point to where I got to take that piece of pipe and we're going to kind of get this inner structure done. That's kind of my goal. I want to get that finished up, and then we can kind of tie in the fenders after and then rebuild this whole sill pan. Would be super nice, but yeah, I don't know. First things first, let's just get that inside piece transitioned and to follow this piece, to which then we can kind of do that exhaust pipe, the round swirl that we want to make here for the back of the car. Well, we got that panel in, so we're kind of good to go here. This is zapped in up on top. We'll have to seal it yet. I kind of left this a little long because I don't know how I'm shaping this little bit yet. But we put the fenders back on. I don't know. We got to figure out how we're gonna finish this the bottom part of this panel. I know like this line's here, so we're good. So this should be just a pretty simple panel, but we'll find out. I think we'll have to wait till next step. I need to get some steel anyways, and then we'll kind of smooth these fenders out so we can get this all transition right. Well, folks, I think that is where I'm gonna leave this one. We kind of got most of that done. I still haven't actually picked up the steel to do that tube in the back. I have some, but we've just been like super busy around here. We got lots of things going on. We got Ryder's been out helping me kind of prep this trailer. We kind of just needle scaled it, wire brushed it down. We're just throwing some rust paint on it just to doll it up. I've had to switch out my winch. I'm trying to get this ready for roll of wheels, but we had a few little problems with it. I don't know why. Insert clip here. Anyways, we're gonna have to tear that motor down, and well, it's just the one side, so we're gonna do the head gasket. I'm guessing that's what's wrong with it. I don't know. Like I say, I want to put it in our world of wheels. But anyways, long story short, this is where we're gonna leave it this round. I want to thank you folks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.